Hey guys, this is Clover here. I just want to do a beginner's video guide for all those that are starting out because this is a fairly new game called Guardian Tales and it's very fun, and I just want to help out a lot of those people that are starting because I see a lot of common questions in the Discord and I want to try to address them here, as well as give some extra tips that I have noticed when I was playing the game. So when you start out, you will want to beat chapter 1 that will give you access to this town, and when you start with the town, the main thing that you want to focus on is upgrading your inn. Your inn will give you all the abilities to increase the levels of your other buildings, which is food, drinks, games, and if anybody's played Dragalia Lost, it's similar to that. You get like the dojos that will help out your weapons. You also have the altars that will help out your elemental attacks, but here you just have 2 statues that will help out your stats. The Tower of Strength, which will increase your strength, and the other one, which will be the Tower of Will, which will help out with your HP. So one of the things I would recommend not doing is buying the shop. I thought I could buy some really great things with the shop with gold, but I've noticed that you can only buy shards and maybe some high-end awakening stones every now and then, but they cost a lot, and so this is something I would buy last. This is something you do not want to buy early on like I did, so do not buy that. You could buy the hero statue, which will help out with your followers coming through the village. You'll see a blimp every now and then that's carrying passengers, and when you click them, they will drop down and give you some random amount of SP. When it does come, it will come over here on the left. Do not be too hasty and click them right away, because if you click them right when they show up, they will drop down here and you will not obtain any SP because they don't land on the town. So just make sure you see the shadow above the town, and when you do, then you can start clicking them to collect their SP. Now we'll go over to heroes here, and I have a lot to say about this. The level up here heroes will require a lot. This game requires a lot of experience in order to level up your heroes, and the thing about it too is you don't have like light experience potions or earth experience potions or dark experience potions. You just have one currency for the level up equipment or leveling up material. So because of that, you do want to make sure that you only level up the characters that you will be using, and you have a team of 4, so make sure you pick 4 main characters that you will be dedicating to help you with the storyline. You do want to make sure that you do put a healer on your team, which will help you out drastically for clearing the stage. You get them for free. You get a lot of characters for free for 2 stars, and you start out with Lorraine. She's a really good healer. You can switch to Alba once you get her, or Lavi. It depends on what elemental team that you're getting, and you don't really want to focus on an elemental team yet. You can just do a rainbow team, which is what most people do. They just pick your strongest characters and slap them together to beat the storyline. Awakening stones are also very rare. You will want to save those awakening stones for only the characters that you will be using. Now, you want to use almost all of your awakening stones on your main character, and then the other 3 characters you just want to awaken just enough to get their chain skill. And that's one of the main questions I get asked a lot, is how to chain. So if you go over to here, such as White Beast, you'll notice that on the left it says you need to learn Awakening over where the chain skill is at. So when you go to this character and you go to their Awakening board, the very first Awakening board you start out with is by their chain skill. And all you have to do is unlock all the nodes around it, and that will give you access to their chain skill, and you can start chaining. One of the reasons why people still might be doing chaining is because we'll go over here to this equipment right here. If you notice here on the left now, my weapon skill, Porcupine Stab, it will put them in injured state when I use a skill, but in order to start chaining, they need to be airborne. So you want to make sure that you put on a weapon that will be complementary to their chain skill. So you can also go over here to the bottom left where it shows chain skill, and you can click on that and see if all your characters can chain together. So you also want to make sure that when you build your team, make sure that they can all chain together, because that will help out with the story and doing lots of damage and everything else. Oopsie. As far as equipment, the equipment materials are also very scarce. When you want to level up your equipment, you just want to use these hammers, which you'll get daily, and you can farm from them as well. You never want to use your equipment as fodder in order to increase the level of your weapons, because if you have any equipment that you do not want to use, just go to random evolution and then you can produce a higher tier star as well as a random grade. So you can see here, this can become a 2-star, and it could be anything. It could be well, not the 2 stars, but if you were to do like a 3-star, it could produce an epic, a unique, or a legendary, or even you can get you can get a lower rarity. So even if you put in all legendaries, you can still get a lower rarity equipment. So just be aware of that. It doesn't matter if you put in all these legendaries, it'll still be completely random. And again, whenever you are upgrading them, just use your hammers. If you do also run random evolution, just make sure that you don't use the accessories, because a lot of the accessories in the games are really good, and you can just evolve them to make them even better. And when you do evolve them, you'll get extra stats as well. So just make sure that you don't use your accessories right away unless it's lower rarity. If you're doing 1 stars and 2 stars, that's completely fine. 3 stars is when you start looking out for them. Now we'll go over to adventure here. And another common question I get asked is, when does the arena start? And that's very fair, because if you look here, it says the very first one starts at 12 o'clock and it goes to 12:59. But for me, it doesn't start until 16 o'clock. So this is set at 12 o'clock UTC -8. And if anybody doesn't know how to convert that, just tell me your time zone and I'll help you out with that. The Coliseum is something that you always want to be doing, because every time you clear a story, every time you clear a Coliseum, every time you clear the arena, you always get event tickets or event points. So always be doing your Coliseums. The other reasons why you want to do your Coliseum is you'll actually rank up or down even if you don't do your Coliseums at all. And it's because it's dependent on your defense team and if people attack them. So if I go to bed, I can be attacked like 3 times, and a lot of times I'll actually win, and so I can still rank up from that way. So always do your Coliseum attacks, because you will always get event tickets for whichever event that we'll be doing right now, which is the Canterbury Street. And then one of the other things I also want to talk about is the shop. You will start out with a lot of these star pieces. You'll start out with a lot of hero crystals and the purple coins. The purple coins, I would recommend that you can just buy whichever heroes that you're working on, so it'll help you out with your progress of evolving them. Also buy the coffee grinders, buy the stamina as you need it, and sometimes the boxes as well. I think, yeah, you can get some boxes. For the hero coins or crystals, you do not want to use these, because these are, even though you get a lot of them, you only get them through events, a little bit of them, and through summoning dupes. The reasons why you do want to save these is because it takes 50 hero crystals to limit break your characters, which you'll start doing once you fully evolve them. And now it'll take a while to evolve them, but you'll still want to save these because you get 5 limit breaks. So that's 250 hero crystals to fully limit break them, which is a lot. So again, you do not want to use these hero crystals all at once. You might want to use them on 1 character, maybe 2 characters, especially if you're really close. But a lot of my characters are nowhere near, and so I'm just going to hold off on buying these, using these hero crystals. The star pieces you want to hold off on buying, using them all. I think you can use a good bit, which is what I did. But these star pieces are used for the higher end buildings. If we go to my shop here, you can see that it takes 250,000 SP in order to upgrade, but you also need 1 star piece. And so save some of your star pieces for these higher end buildings once you start upgrading your towns. And one of the other things you can do with your SP is buy the Sealed Goddess. I think her name is pronounced Litvis. If anybody knows the actual pronunciation, just let me know. I would actually like to know myself, but she's supposed to be one of the best PvE units in the game. So if you're having problems with the storyline You can save up to buy her, but I actually have already beat the storyline, so I don't need her, and so I'm actually ignoring her until I level up the rest of my buildings so I can get access to the rest of the town, and then my last construction site right there for my HP, which will help out with building the stats for my heroes for PvP. So I think that's about it that I want to talk about. If anybody else has any other questions or needs any help, then just let me know in the comment sections. One of the things I will be doing also in the future is doing guides on the towers, because the tower has a lot of puzzles that are hard to figure out. Some of them would take me like half an hour to figure out, and so I know how hard they can be, and so I will be doing video guides on these as well. If you guys have a certain tower that you guys are stuck on, just let me know, but otherwise I'll probably be starting from 48 downwards from the puzzle sections. I'll also be doing a guide on guilds, which is something that you guys want to do when you first have access to it, is join a guild so you can start getting extra currency. You want to always log in so you can get your rewards. You also want to hit the scarecrow, and the scarecrow helps out your guild know where you're at, and also it shows what your progress is like, so you can test out a different team to see how much DPS you're doing, so that you can start doing the raids. And when you do the raids, always do your 3 attacks. Even if you know that you're going to be doing not a lot of damage, you'll still want to do the attacks, because this game always gives you rewards whether you do a lot or not. So just doing anything will still help out. And I'll be doing a guide on this because I'll show you right here. If we go to guild rankings, you'll see that I'm in 4th place for damage, and I'm actually usually 3rd place once I start attack. But as you can see, I actually have not used my attacks today, but once I do, I'll probably be back to 3rd place. But if you look at the scarecrow ranking here, you'll notice that I'm actually kind of at the bottom, or at least in the middle. I'm ranked 22 as far as damage goes, but I'm 3rd place as far as the raids go, because I know how to do the fights. And knowing how to do the fights when you can attack and everything will be very, very key to doing that a lot of damage and ranking up high. And so I will be doing a video guide on that to help out with you guys, so you guys can do a lot of damage, help out your guilds so you can get higher ranks, and get more rewards. And I hope that this video has helped out you guys. And if you guys have any questions, again, just let me know, and I'll be doing extra videos in the future. So have a great day and have fun playing the game.